California accounts for nearly 15% of the nation's total gross domestic product, the most of any state. It also accounts for a large number of high-security inmates in the country. With story after story of staff and inmate assaults, we'll take a look at another high-security institution located in the state, Salinas Valley State Prison. Let's get into it. Just south of the San Francisco Bay is the Salinas Valley. It runs for 90 miles down the western side of California, not far from the Pacific Ocean. The setting for the famed novels East of Eden and Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Soledad, California is home to Salinas Valley State Prison. The city has a population of 24,925 and is a notable tourist destination. Tourists flock to Soledad for the restored Mission and beautiful Pinnacles National Park, although the offenders aren't there on vacation, but to pay the debt owed to society. We'll start with some prison facts before moving on to violent incidents and notable inmates. Salinas Valley State Prison began to accept Level 4 offenders in May 1996. At that time, the prison population in California was growing. As of June 2022, the prison housed 2,912 inmates, with 1,735 of those being high security. The facility is operating over capacity. It is rated to hold 2,867. During the height of overcrowding, the prison gym was converted into a dorm. In 2008, due to a reduction in offenders, it was converted back into its intended role. Currently, there are 177 offenders in the restricted housing unit. The facility also houses 234 inmates in the mental health inpatient program. According to California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, the program is designed to provide more intensive treatment for patients who cannot function adequately or stabilize in an outpatient program. The facility operates with approximately 1,200 staff, although there is usually a couple hundred staff vacancies. Salinas Valley State Prison operates on a budget of $252 million. Methamphetamine is a regularly seized drug. In September 2021, there were 25 seizure events totaling over 1,400 grams or 1.4 kilograms. Later, in March 2022, a spike of drug overdoses was reported at the facility. Over a 10-day period, there were 19 overdoses with 1 death. On March 30th, prison officials took steps to stop overdoses, including no packages, no snack purchases, and no phone time until cells could be properly searched. The motto of the prison is courage, integrity, professionalism. The facility is located adjacent to the Correctional Training Facility, which we may cover in a future video. In 2018, there was an investigation into the facility after allegations were made that staff were not being properly disciplined when complaints were made. The release report found that in 183 out of 188 complaints, no policy violation and only 1 complaint actually warranted an investigation. In 1 complaint, an offender reported that he was sent to restrictive housing for not becoming an informant. The final report stated, "The problems we encountered require substantial changes at Salinas Valley." It went on to say that it required a complete overhaul of the staff complaint inquiry process. Recently, the prison began a new program to help the spouses of the incarcerated men coping with the stress of dealing with their situation. Before we get into some of the recent events at the prison, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this content. Since the beginning of 2022, 3 inmates have been murdered at the prison. On August 3rd, 2022, Angel Montez allegedly attacked Peter Hernandez in the housing unit day room with a manufactured weapon. Officers were able to stop the attack using chemical agents. Montez was serving life without parole for attempted murder of a government official. In 2016, he took a firearm from a police officer and attempted to shoot him while he was being detained. Hernandez was a 3rd striker and had been at the prison since 1997 for second-degree robbery. Earlier that year, in May, another attack occurred. This time, in the maximum security prison yard, Edgar Delgado was attacked by an unnamed suspect with a shank. Delgado had been at the prison since 2008 after he was convicted of attempted murder. Delgado fired shots at a home after being asked to leave a party. When police located him, additional gunshots were fired toward police. At this prison, staff are also not safe. On June 27, 2022, 2 guards were stabbed at the prison during a cell search. The officers were transported to the hospital and treated for lacerations. Carlos Perdomo was named as a suspect in the attack. He was serving a life without parole sentence for 2 counts of first-degree murder. Each of these men had a history of violence, and it continued while incarcerated at this facility. The prison houses a murderous cannibal that was an up-and-coming West Coast rapper. Antron Singleton, known as Big Lurch, was convicted in 2003 of killing his roommate. The pair had gotten high on PCP the night before, and in a psychotic state, Big Lurch killed her. The victim had teeth marks on parts of her lung and face. A medical examination found human flesh in his stomach. He will spend the rest of his life in prison. Convicted serial killer Terry Childs is also currently housed at Salinas Valley State Prison. Childs was convicted of murder in 1987 and has remained in the California prison system since that time. While in prison, Childs confessed to numerous other murders. He was convicted in several other murders and given additional life sentences. Childs claimed that he was pressured into confessing after seeing the ghosts of his victims. In 1996, Childs attempted to kill another inmate and was transferred to Pelican Bay State Prison, where he was held in solitary confinement. Just like Big Lurch, Childs will never be released back into society. This was a profile of Salinas Valley State Prison. Much like other high-security institutions, it deals with violence regularly and houses some of California's most dangerous men. There is no indication that the violence will subside anytime soon. As always, see you next time.